Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1750. I'm your host Arwin, and before we start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That'll be much appreciated, and I can always use the support, so really keep it coming. And right, weather today looks amazing, but it is really cold actually. Well, it's not freezing, but I mean it is still pretty cold. Air outside's just really cooled down a lot, but there is some nice sun out. Doesn't have that sharp winter brightness just yet. Still feels like a bit of a late summer type sun. But the air is really cool, so there's not a lot of wind right now also, which is surprising because it has been kind of windy and rainy continually. Right. Anyway. Hello Nathan R, first in chat. Good to see you. Danny Torrance, good to see you. It is Sunday, the 15th of October 2023. Hello Dank, good to see you. Temperature is, wow, 10 degrees Celsius, yeah. It is cold. I really felt it in the night too. I mean, it was like so cold that at times I would just close my window basically to warm up a bit. And I got my heater on like right next to me. Hello Clutch, Akumu virus. Wow. Everybody's here, or lots of people are here. Glad that you all managed to find me. I've been very busy yesterday. Whew. Till middle of the night. Like, there was a ball busters, and it was pretty good. I was not very active on it. To be fair, actually, I thought that some of the subjects, I couldn't really focus on it too much. Like, I just couldn't follow it. And by the way, neither could Nathan. Because he asked for more elaborate explanations and all that. But we managed to, like, start chatting, and Nathan hung around, even made coffee at 1 o'clock at night. Or, well, for him, 12. I hung around till 3 o'clock chatting with Adam Meekin and Nathan and Brian. And yeah, it was a blast, but I mean, God. It was very late. Same weather here in the UK? Ah, okay, thanks, Danny Torrance. for that info. Yeah, but that 10 degrees is really cold. Like, suddenly really cooled down. Shouldn't be drinking coffee at those hours. Yeah. Well, we were guessing that Nathan was gonna pull an all-nighter testing his computer again. He was talking about that also. Right. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though, and I still managed to be up, and I still feel pretty good. Got an Illuminati croissant here, which I'm looking forward to chowing down on. What else? Yeah, got plenty of... Man, I get a lot of troll comments these days. Again, even on the backup channel now. And in email, I get a lot of spam mail with like pretty nasty hate mail. It's nothing like overtly threatening or anything, but it is just nasty ass bullies. And they just keep going. I mean, I'm not actually reading it. But they just keep going. Like they're expecting me to like quit or something. I don't get it. It's not gonna happen. Hey Terry306, good to see you. Like, as long as I'm just getting support, and I'm staying afloat, I'll keep going. If I got haters, no, not really. The Kumu virus. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of it. Like they're not actually giving me anything. They're just whining. Right? They're not giving me like useful criticism. Because I would get that if you're like OCD with criticism and like, oh, this is better, this could be better, that could be... Like, I get that. I've had some like sort of spam mail like that too. So I always do check like what is in there. But there's certain individuals, like they have nothing constructive in them whatsoever, and they're just ranting angrily. Like it's all about how they feel about it all, really, and not so much... Like, they don't actually really care. They're just trying to unload all their negativity and projecting it. It's really disgusting. Right, also yesterday I went on... before the Ballbusters... I said I was busy, right? Before Ballbusters I also went on Flat Arthur's for the first time. I thought that I had been on it before, but probably... yeah. That was the other guy from Pakistan. Yeah, you were there, right, Tarot? Yeah. Yeah, it's curious because Arthur he's like very inquisitive type. Like, I was just expecting a completely friendly, open conversation. But he was like almost trying to entrap me, I felt, at times in the conversation. I'm like, what? I was mostly just trying to clear up what he was trying to talk about. But we were talking different languages, really, because I was just approaching things esoteric. And he was trying to like figure out... He was trying to connect that to the non-esoteric approach. And that's... pretty difficult because it's like, yeah, it's not really compatible. But I'm very proud to have at least, yeah, there was this opportunity, right? He brought it up. He brought it up to a higher standard from a neutral vantage point, from not being a Christian himself, but still being very honest and all that, and believing God. And so, yeah, I took that opportunity, got in there, and had that discussion. And it was just kind of funny how he was like, yeah, but he says he's God. It's like, no, he does not. He doesn't literally say that. And sometimes that is sort of, yeah, he sort of says it, but that's like within esoteric statements. It's like he's casting a spell with very complex meanings. It's like laying down a fractal pattern, and in that sense it's like esoterically he declares himself God, but he also says that everybody basically is that, right? So like, oh, you're gonna take that literal too, right? It's like, and everybody can surpass him, right? Like, oh no, you don't do that part. Oh, okay. I didn't even get to that point, but I mean, it's not really his point to make. But yeah, that was also very interesting. Did that before Ballbusters. Wow. 8-0 loss for Pakistan. Damn. Right, but yeah, so I had an interesting but intense day yesterday, and yeah, check it out. I mean, check out Flat Arthur's show yesterday, and just if you want to see me talk back and forth. Oh, that was. Right, and I'm gonna bite down in this Illuminati croissant, so cheers. No, Akuma, please don't bring that kind of talk to my chat. Thank you very much. No, you brought the suggestion in. A suggestion that I'm quite certain Terra 306 did not mean, because he's a no fap guy. So no, don't dare put this in his shoes. Okay? It's croissant time? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know Akumu virus. And you brought forth your interpretation of that word in chat. An interpretation I'm quite certain Tarot did not mean. Right, Tarot? It's really weird that you start talking like this too. Like, why did the, yeah? Because I'm watching a movie on Netflix that is like about like basically a private investigator like researching like dirty porn situations and like investigating. It's like really like, and I'm not really liking it. But it's like as an investigation, it's really interesting. Like, it's a decently interesting movie. Mystery investigation. It's with what's his name again? Damn it. I gotta forget. I'm so bad at names, man. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. That's it. This is absolutely... Seriously. Google got me. It's like, I just typed in "not the bees" and it's apparently a song that Nicolas Cage made. It's very handy though, because now you can immediately find out his name by just typing in "not the bees." Seriously. But yeah, it's easy. The main role in that. And he's kind of boring in it though. It's not like being goofy or anything. But it's just weird, because I didn't bring anything up, and there's like all that weird, gross porn-mindedness and all that in there. And now Akumu virus just starts doing that. Like, what? Did you like tap into my like spiritual metadata that I kept dormant or something? Like, what's going on? It's weird. What? Okay, no, I had no idea. Seeking Star Water, that's a really silly factoid. But I mean, Nicolas Cage is a weird guy, though. Really weird. And arguably creepy. Yeah, Akumuva, you can stop talking about it now, okay? Intense and weird. Yeah. Well, it's the intense part that I actually appreciate about him, because I have similar weird intensities. I express them differently though. CB, what? Jared, what are you talking? Are you talking about cricket? This is feeling like a weird Sunday breakfast where everybody's just blabbering randomly about what they want to talk about. Okay. Thank you for that. Die for that, Navy vet. Welcome. You thought I was going rage win? When? Oh, you mean with Flat Arthur? Yeah, because he kind of rumpused me, and he just had this weird aggressive tone. And it was like I was there to have a civil, friendly conversation, but then he got all inquisitive. And that agitated me a bit, so I got loud, just to like be able to get through. Now I'm gonna go rage win. You might have known, I don't actually go rage win except on my own show. I mean, I might get angry and then eventually leave, but I don't go rage win. It's on Eddie. Like, that's not a multiple people like attribute. That's not something I do when there's other people involved. Because Arthur was a blind... Well, no, I know he's not, as far as I know, but he was acting like that. which I thought was weird because I didn't expect him to do that. That's home with Neil and 10th too. Well, only when they talk shit about my interpretation. Right? I don't bring it up with them. They're the ones always nagging me for my views. Do I ever actually complain about them on my show? Other than like when I got really pissed off during FED or something and had to leave because continual rumpusing by 10th man sometimes. I mean, but other than that, like, I don't really care. I'm gonna change anybody's mind anyway. They're not gonna listen. Their ways are set. I thought he was one. No, but he's not Christian, right? Is he? I thought he was Hindu. I mean, if he was actually a Christian, then I wouldn't have like rolled out my entire idea because that would have been pretty damn shocking. Right. Anyhow, yeah, that was all very interesting. The conversation. I might just link you up. No, yeah, I can't. Anybody can link that up. I'm like in my Arwinian Bear account, so I don't have that history available to me. I would have to switch accounts to do that. No, screw it, I'm gonna do it. You guys are just talking about sports anyway. Okay, where is it? Right, here you go. Oh, you beat me to it. Okay, thanks for that, Turret. Hey, Skeptic936, good to see you. Welcome back. Right, did everybody check out Ballbusters? even though I wasn't very active in it. I think I did crack a couple of jokes though. I think Highway 90 is now established officially. Started as Route 90. Now it's Highway 90, where they chase by with their high-speed cars to tell you you're gonna need a flat earth for that. It's officially Highway 90. Yeah. Does anybody know how you do the degree symbol? I don't know if YouTube can handle that. Whatever. Hey LSG, good to see you. Only on my phone? Right. Yeah, it just gives the star. The little... Oh wait, what is that? Is that... Oh, hey, that's a different thing. Okay, interesting. I'll just copy it. See if that works. Yeah, that works. Huh, cool. Cool. And there you got the title. Hold Alt Numpad. What? Really? That's a thing? 0179. No. I don't... What the fuck? Yeah, that doesn't really work. What are you talking about, low fruit? It's not degrees Celsius. Do you see a C there? Right. It works for... What? Well, it might work for you, not working for me. I literally just tried it. Doesn't work here. Yeah, Kumavirus has a point there, I think too. You're probably not using Windows 7, are you, Dank? Really? Zero, 1, 7. Do you have to press the 0, 1, 7, 6 at the same time or in sequence? Oh, hey. Whoa. That actually worked. I had to press it all at the same, but it also like weirdly screwed up my browser. Went to a new page for some reason. That was weird. Interesting. Hold Alt, type the numbers. Okay. What the? Okay. Let's try it again. Nope. Every time I do that, it starts to like switch around. Well, maybe it's because it's a browser. Maybe if I did it in a if I did it in a text file, let's see if that works. What the hell? Oh, damn it. Okay, it's giving me all kinds of different responses. This is really weird. Oh. You have to do it very quickly, and then it works. Huh, interesting. But you have to do it like really quick. If you do it in a browser, it like for some reason just goes to another page. I don't know, but it doesn't work in browsers. Although afterward it still gives you the symbol like in the browser bar. But then you have to copy it and basically go back. Alt code stuff there. Okay. Whoa. Damn, that's a lot of weird shit. Is this the giant ASCII archive or something? Holy shit, there's a lot of weird shit in there. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna save that link. That's very interesting. Thank you for that. Thank. Cool. Are we gonna have some ASCII artists in the chat now? People like trying to make pictures with that stuff. Man, that used to be like a thing. Remember that? Like everybody used to do that in chats. And then it all got like kicked out for spamming. Upside down question mark? Okay. Just looks like a wheelchaired guy now. Why isn't there... I can't find an arrow upward. Like, just upward. Where is it? Why is there no upward arrow? Just an up and down. That's weird. Oh wait, there's more. So I just didn't look. Never mind. But the upward arrow can be kind of useful. What the hell? Okay. But it is like really thin though. I mean, They don't exactly pop off the screen in YouTube. But this is like a very handy thing, because you can just literally click it and then copy it directly from that website. Very, very handy. So thank you for that link, storing that one. Right, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Right. So it's riveting stuff, making this show the most exciting show of all time. Come on, guys. Sports, ASCII, my activism, yesterday's shows, not a lot of inquisitive, not a lot of inquiry. Maybe today's just one of those days where really nobody wants to care and they just hang around. Wind is so still all of a sudden. Maybe that's just it. Skies are beautiful though. Ah, look at that. Isn't that just amazing looking? No, don't go away, son. Stay here. Yeah, by the way, my mint plant has really not been having any trouble with this temperature shift at all. It almost seems like it's growing better than before. Crazy. Just look at this. I'm serious. Look at that. Look at how high that's suddenly just shooting up. Like it really decided to suddenly like really grow upward. Look at how big this thing has become. It's almost grown the entire bucket length. Through all the storms and everything. Smells great, and I've been, by the way, also using some of its leaves for some mint tea supplementation. Like when I ran out of mint tea, I just took a couple of those leaves. They're really strong. 2 hours till dawn? Most religions promise eternal heaven, without any restrictions you have here. Yeah, sure. But I mean, that is good. Like, if your conscious is still your conscious, then it's gonna run out of purpose. Because this sounds a bit weird, but I'm coming to the conclusion, and this is not some kind of like psycho or evil statement. Like, the purpose for consciousness is to end, not to be ended. But like, eventually it'll get sick of whatever it is experiencing. The conscious, the actual conscious experience. So eternal bliss is like a paradox. There is no such thing. You might have a moment that can theoretically last forever, but it all depends on how time passes by to the one experiencing it, on how it's going to change it. Because if you experience things and you don't and it doesn't change you, then that means that you don't remember it, and then you're just a ghost in heaven. But like a ghost, like you're not actually the person. You won't change. Nothing about you change. There's no more purpose. You're just chasing an echo of what you longed for while you were still complete. Is that really heaven? You know? Or do you just get to experience everything you like until you're done? You see? Until you have been fulfilled. And then there is basically no more reason to exist. Or reincarnate, like that you need to truly be stripped and start again, or whatever. I don't know exactly. I'm just going by like the logical elements of, well, the conscious. And what that is like, how conscious experience works. Maybe we choose to live this life as an adventure. Yeah, well, that's the better way of looking at it. So yeah, I agree. I mean, eventually, in eternal blissful heaven, there's no way that you won't look back upon the struggles you had on earth and then, like, in nostalgia, while you are in perfection, and think back in nostalgia, like, yeah, but then it meant something. Then I didn't know for certain whether I was going to get out of it. It was so more real, it was exciting because I didn't have everything I want. Without restrictions. So yeah, that then points at a total reincarnation cycle system. If that is an option, right? Either you disappear or you start again. Why wouldn't a pure soul enjoy heavenly bliss forever and ever? Well, enjoy would be a big word. Like, a pure soul would probably be content in heaven forever. But really enjoying it? Just the same things over and over again. I don't see that working with the consciousness. Right, well, Aries 106, yeah, I agree with that. Like, unless it is, unless heaven actually is, you get to enjoy it for as long as you want. Yeah? Then heaven would truly be heaven. And like, dudes, even during my visions and all that, that was suggested, like, yeah, heaven. You don't actually have to be there. Like, even while you're in heaven, you can go to hell. Just don't bring any of it back with you. Because if you do, then you might still, like, you might even be able to go to hell while you're in heaven and then get stuck in hell. Not even joking. Who says there's any kind of barrier, you know? Well, there might be like a barrier, like metaphysically, where literally there's the pandemonium and like the forces of hell want to tear down the forces of heaven as they did on earth. And that the forces of heaven would be protected by this eternal barrier or this perfect fortress. But that as a heaven occupant, you could basically wander outside and take a look on the other side and then get stuck on the outside, getting tainted, not being able to get back. I don't know, this is starting to really sound like a video game background story. What I mean, yeah. Gotta give it form. Yeah, Kamover as well. You're just completely wrong about that. Because we are written by good and evil, like what we long for. Like that comes with you into the afterlife. What you are is what you become. Good and evil definitely transcend life, in my opinion. Right? But it all depends on the nature of your evils or your violations. If it's like earthly weakness that's making it difficult for you to be good, but you want to be a good boy, right? Then death might be a release from the earthly restraints and thereby the mechanism that, well, lured you or pulled you into evil. So that without your body you might be more light, more like simple, and not inclined to seek out evil at all. It all depends. No. And by saying you're not gonna say that in my chat. Okay, Tarot? Good and evil, man-made duality? No, it is not a man-made duality, Akuma virus. It's absolute. It's not a man-made, it's not thought up by man. And yeah, it might all be created, but there is a distinct difference. Yeah, you try to spell it differently and you're not supposed to. Yeah, that's why do you think the word is banned, Tarot? Why do you think it's banned? Not for you to then rewrite it so you could still use the word. I don't want you talking about that. God created it all. Yeah, sure. But there is good and evil. Whether you choose to recognize them or not, they are there. They're like spiritual ideologies. And they're absolute. You can't, Tarot. Don't you get it? Don't you frickin' get it? You're not supposed to bring that up. We don't talk about that on my show, Tarot. Yeah, well, don't ask those questions. Not in this show. If you want to do stuff about it, you do stuff about it. Don't talk about it in my chat. This is Highway 90, not Route 66. Right, look. It's a matter of perspective, yeah? Good exists to taunt evil. That's from the evil perspective. To ruin it. And evil exists to test good. And that's from the good perspective. And that's it. Right? Evil wants to break good, and good wants to be tested by evil. Well, it doesn't really, but it requires that. It's all part of the journey of freedom of choice. It's the consequence of how we've manifested. Where's the line? That you know it when you see it. Unless you've been like indoctrinated against it or like been saturated with it so that you've been numbed down to it, then you won't recognize it. Because you're used to it. Not everybody sees it the same. No, everybody does see it the same. Unless you've been specifically programmed against it. There is a natural way of seeing things. Like, everybody will see the same things. In the same things, without anybody ever having told anything about it. So yeah, everybody does actually see the same. Programmed to see it? Yeah, by the creator, by the designer of our beings and how our souls and spirits and consciousness grows. Yeah, it is designed that way. That there is the way, the natural way of seeing things. And then there is the delusional way of seeing things, which can be anything, and that's Satan. You can think of it whatever the fuck you want way. There's the right way, that is natural, and that everybody, without any programming, will feel and see. And then there's the delusional way, do whatever the fuck you want, and everything can be inside out from reality. Yeah. Can all be seen as a delusional. Yeah, especially from the delusional side. Yeah, because delusionals don't like it that they are delusional. So they want everything to be delusional, including the ones that aren't delusional, so they don't feel like such a fucking loser. Yeah, Satan the loser, the delusional one, the liar. Yeah, the incompetent one. The envious one. Hey, Zip Teppy, what the fuck are you doing here? Yeah, we don't care. If you have nothing to say about it, then don't talk, Zip Teppy. You're disgusting, Akumu Virus. You're fucking disgusting. Yeah. Lucifer, no matter the perspective, is objectively evil. And you can think of him as a good being, like Freemason weirdos or whatever. You're a liar. Lucifer has inherently evil traits other than, oh, not listening to the Father. Yeah, he has inherently evil traits that are vastly described. That a lot of greedy, evil people like really like him for it, because they too are evil. Because Lucifer is objectively evil. You can think of him as not being evil, but then you're evil, you see? No, it doesn't depend on the story. Objectively evil. Satan is the evil one. Yeah, and Lucifer is his champion. He opposed God. He opposed creation, all the rules, all of it. And thereby became as Satan. Became Satan. I don't even think Satan is actually a being, it's a force. And he personified it. And obsessed over it over that resistance, over not going with God, over proving him wrong. He is objectively evil. He's anti-design. Like, Lucifer defies the design of God. He wants everything to be different than it is. He wants the design to be corrupted. That's inherently evil. And it doesn't depend on the story. Right? I mean, if you defy a person or a being that calls themselves or declares themselves supreme power or ruler or God, then you might be a Satan to his claim to rule or whatever. That doesn't make you objectively evil. But if you want to corrupt the design of all that things that are, that is objectively evil. And that's why Lucifer came down to earth in the story. To change things. To mess with the plan. Inherently evil. Yeah, you heard different stories. I'm sure you did. Wanting to change the design is inherently evil. Hey, skeptic. Bye. Haven't really heard you speak up much. Editing something and evil? Yeah, it is. It is. Not trusting the design. Wanting to mess with it. Yeah, and it's not just, oh, change it a little. The point is, he wanted to change everything. Yeah? Because Lucifer doesn't care. He doesn't actually have a vision. He is just an irrational perfectionist that just wants to change things until none of it works. It's like you change one thing, oh, you create another problem. Okay, then you change that thing. Oh, well, guess what? A bigger problem. You change that. Well, an even bigger problem until there's only problems left. Yeah? Because Lucifer is not the designer. He is not God. He just can't handle how God made things. He thinks he knows better, and he is objectively wrong. And that's the entire problem. That's where he came into play. As a giant mistake that God has to basically then account for. Because technically every mistake that is made is God's mistake, because he is the supreme creator and designer. So everything that happens is his responsibility. So he had to account for something that just went really wrong. Yeah, Akumu virus, I can. I can't say which one is objectively wrong. I can't say that any of them are objectively true. I can just say that if it's about how Lucifer is such a special boy and like he didn't mean it, yeah, that one is wrong and evil. Objectively. I can absolutely tell you that, Akumu Virus. Can absolutely tell you that. I've read that shit. I've dealt with people. It's evil. I can tell you that, Akumu Virus. If you don't choose to believe that, then you're an idiot and you're literally capable of just walking into lava thinking it is water then. No, Akumu Virus, stop being a fucking wise ass before I kick you the fuck out. You have nothing to base your position on. You don't even fucking know what morality is, yeah? You've said nothing. Nothing to prove that you know any of it. Yeah, I don't care about your obsessive neutrality horseshit, Akumu Virus. I don't care. There is objective good and there is objective evil. And there is no middle road. If you walk the middle road, then you're delusional and arguably evil. There is no middle road. It's good or it's evil. This is religious talk. Yeah, that's right. So shut the fuck up. Stop being so goddamn abrasive. Don't you fucking dare come in here and start arguing how Lucifer is not evil. And then say, oh, you religious talk, you can't prove any. Then shut the fuck up, you fucking retard. I don't care what you're saying. I'm just saying shut the fuck up, Akumu Virus. I don't care what you're saying or not saying. I'm telling you, shut the fuck up. I'm telling you to shut up. Next time I kick you out. Hello, Richard G. Does a machine or whatever made purely of energy lose energy? What? Who are you asking, Gaining Wisdom? Does energy lose energy? No, it is energy. How can it lose itself? Okay, Akumu Virus. Yeah, well, in that case, take 5. And take 5 to shut the fuck up. And if you bring this up again during my show, I will kick you out. You hear me? I'm done with this fucking conversation. Don't care? What? Annual solar. Yeah, there was an eclipse. Yeah, Steamy Traveler saw that. He actually made photos. It's pretty cool. Where is he? Yeah, I'll share them. He made some photos. It was pretty cool. Whoa. Right? Like this. And that. And that one. So yeah, he made that yesterday. Or yeah, when that was happening. Pretty cool. Steamy has got some pretty decent equipment. Looks really expensive. Oh. Oh, it's raining again. And the wind is back. Oh, sorry, it's just Virus really is kind of getting on my nerves with this Lucifer bullshit. Hey, fibroids. They don't. Yeah, but I mean, fibroids. They just have to like be told, oh, how it is the moon moving in front, and it's all a globe, and you get to see the nonsense side animations, and it's good enough. They don't want to think of it as a bit. Don't you get it? Like ballers, when they see things actually happening, they're not gonna think. They're not inclined to think like, oh, hey, that's weird. Should it be like that? No, they never think like that. It's always like, no, everything is normal because we're on a globe. That's how they approach things. They're not gonna like point out how things are inconsistent, you see? They don't do that. Unless it's something that they could very easily like mathematically correct or something. It's like, oh, we were slightly off, right? If they can fix it, they're saying, oh, we turned out to be slightly off, like the distance to the sun nonsense thing, right? How that kept shifting around. Yeah, if you could just correct it with a slight calculation, then it's fine. But if there's a thing that you can't really, by a simple number correction, explain, then you just don't talk about it. Like, no, that doesn't exist. Or it's not an issue because we decide it's not an issue. Yeah? Like, when there's a leak, there's a leak. They don't care. Don't look at it. Because there shouldn't be any anomalies, and there aren't. Virus, are you seriously continuing the shit that you were talking about? Are you Luciferian now? Are you just Luciferian now? Because I don't want to have anything to do with you. I thought you were a deist, not a Luciferian. Sun and moon? Oh, okay. Never mind then. Good. Yeah, right, Fibroids. Yeah, it's just good enough. Hey, Steamy Traveler in chat? He's not in chat. Right. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the show. 1.5 hour in. Right. Anything else out there happening? Oh, really? China is going for a new hole? Like the super deep borehole? Where? It shouldn't be much longer to the core. That's hilarious. Okay, see you later, Tarot. Thanks for being there in the chat. Don't forget to Rogans it up, by the way, anybody that leaves. Any more work on the game? No. I'm just thinking about it a lot. Like, I'm just considering like how it's gonna work, and I think I actually need to like build it up from a basic form of Bullet Ash. Like, if I could literally find a way to be able to like create it modularized, where I can start small, basically add things on, and that way expand, that would be absolutely ideal. But yeah, the thing is, I have to sort of like get to programming, and I'm just like really not eager to do any of that, because I just like, you're gonna like have to like a little kid like make me do it, because it's like get a headache just thinking about it. Like thinking about actually trying to like find my way through it. Meth to make it modular? What? No, but design-wise, I'm pretty much as good as done. It's like I could add more stuff, but I mean, I don't know at this point if anything about it is ever actually gonna... Like, I could just keep theoretically adding stuff, but if I can't test whether it would work, it's like pointless to just make up stuff and try to add it in the design. At this point, I've already got so much that is like bringing in like severe complications, and I'm having like, I'm just thinking about like how could I like bypass a lot of these complications. And the real problem is that I can't actually test it. Like, if I could literally like have little simulations and then just see how it would slow down or if it would go wrong. Because now I'm just doing that in my head, but I can't actually, like, yeah, just testing in my head doesn't actually yield results. Managed extensibility frameworks, okay. The point is I sort of like need to like lay down a, what do you say, like a programming chart like my brother used to do that too as a programmer, where you like write down all the processes that basically like what the game consists of, like what type of things is it going to be doing, what does it need, what is it going to be doing all the time, and then create that into, well, a testable game. Starting very simple. And if I could literally like have original Boulder Dash programming, like just cookie cutter in there, if that is out there, that would be super handy, because then I could also take a look like how they actually solved some of these tricks, and then potentially use those systems to expand upon with the things that I had in mind. Yeah, my main problem is I really don't even know how to properly start. I've never had any programming. Sort of had it once, but we didn't have any counseling with it, so I just literally didn't do it, because it's like, yeah, oh, there's all this information out there of how to do it, and I don't even know how to look through this thing. It's just like, yeah, well, you just have to like look through it for like a couple of years and just remember everything you bumped into. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, and that's why I'm not a programmer. The problem is that I wasn't super interested, really. I was interested in like being capable of programming. I'm just not interested in actually programming. Never really have been. I'm interested in how it works, but I'm not in doing it and figuring out like little tricksies and what's out there. I'm not just like, meh. I just don't have that curiosity in me, unlike my brother did. I mean, he always used to like screw around with like programming and basic, and like always like trying things out, and even like soldering, like creating little circuit board things to like plug in the computer and test that. Like he was always doing that kind of stuff. Always. Me? Absolutely not. But I'd be always very interested to look at what he was doing. But I never really had it like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. A lot of it I just really didn't get. Like, I just wasn't smart enough, I think, for it. Or not technical enough. Right. But yeah, I mean, it would be great if I could have like a one-on-one contact, like not during the live stream. Could we do it not during the freaking live stream? That would be great. And like help me to get started or something, to assemble something, to like at least like get the check engine going or something. So I think if anybody, yeah, Low Fruit, if you're willing to like help me out with this, I think I'm gonna like draw or attempt to draw basically a full plan of like what it's gonna be doing, and then we could figure out, like I could put that in front of you, and you could perhaps tell me like how I'm going to be able to assemble that in programming. If I could get, because I have no expertise. I mean, I could like, yeah, of course you could assemble it. Like, I don't know what the fuck those things are. Like, oh, look at these million different options. It's like, oh, you could use this. I don't know what the hell that is. Like, I don't know what any of it is. I don't know what it signifies. I know it does something. I don't know anything about it. I mean, my insights go as far as like, oh, go to, or ifs, right? That's like, oh, I get that part. That's about it. That's as far as I came, like with Commodore Basic. Beyond that, it's just like, yeah, no, I just didn't get it anymore. Hello, Steamy Traveler, by the way, good to see you. Money making? You gotta be kidding. There's no way. There's no way he'd ever fall for that money making idea. Like, he wouldn't even believe me. Besides, I tried that 20 years ago. And he didn't want to. Yeah, I showed your pictures, Steamy Traveler, from the eclipse. Pretty cool stuff. Hello, Cleary, good to see you. Yeah, Cleary. Yeah, it is. Right, anyway, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Hey, Bombaclad Gatorfish. Haven't seen you in a while. You're not Arwin repellent. I got a gusto, I'm gonna take it. Come on. This is ridiculous. How can it be so ridiculously hard to open these things? Serious. Cheers. It's gonna be the last one in a while. Wow, got so many people in the chat today. It's great. Right, but yeah, Cleary, I mean, shamanism, it is everywhere because shamanism just happens. Like, somebody gets curious. Like, shamans, like, start out like conspiracy theorists, sort of. They're just curious people that try to figure things out. Like, probably have a bit trouble communicating, and then they eventually figure it out, and then they just do what they do their thing. It's kind of like how it worked with me too. I mean, I had a lot of trouble like communicating with people throughout my teens. Don't have that problem as much now. I realized that the trouble I always had was that I was always focused on my consciousness and my intellectual insights, and not so much on my social sensories, because they were always in disarray. Because I had like issues, like inferiority complex related type issues. And so I was always avoiding that and judging things through my intellect, but thereby like ignoring how I was just energetically like off and like you could say repulsive in a way, like escaping from radiating really unpleasant things, not like super evil or anything, but just like I'm just off and I'm like just something wrong, right? And I would have that a lot, and I'd never get it because I was always trying to figure out intellectually what was happening and didn't understand how people could just not follow my intellectual train of thought and just have their emotions suddenly reject me. Like, I never understood that. I just never got that. Now I get it a lot better, and now I do also realize like there is this whole social dynamic process that absolutely defies logic, has nothing to do with it, and people don't even understand why they have these needs and why they do that. And because I see that now and I can compartmentalize what's happening with those things and separate it from my intellect, and now I realize why the hell all that shit happened the way it did. Because I was disjointed. I ignored one part in favor of another, then thought that that other part was everything that there was. I ignored the things that I couldn't handle, and then tried to forget about them, but that way you don't actually master anything. You just stay disjointed. Had to learn that the hard way. Very, very hard way, taking a damn long time. Arguably ruining half my life. If not all of it. And the only way I could even imagine that I would have been able to get out of that is if I had some serious therapy and like parents that were actually better than me to like guide me through that. I had to be able to exist in a world where I could trust things enough to be able to fix it, to be able to be exposed enough to actually fix it, to be openly vulnerable and weak so that I could slowly repair it from an honest, open position instead of just trying to fend it off and protect it against the entire world, which just seemed every time I'd show anything, it's just like, quickly claw its face off. Because that's what a lot of it was for me. Like, just people bullied me because I would share what I was thinking or feeling. And I'd say things, consider things that they thought was completely unacceptable, or they didn't know how to deal with it. So they'd feel like mysteriously humiliated towards me, and then they would want to make me go a notch down. And that continually happened. Eventually, it just like felt like I was surrounded by that. Especially at the Waldorf school, had that a lot. But later too. And now I'm gonna work and I mean, my social interactions have like dramatically improved in the last 10 years. Like, I can barely believe how much more developed I am now in social communication compared to 10 years ago. I can't believe how much that's changed. It's not just like, oh, I'm better at presenting myself on the show, I'm better at having a conversation, I'm less insecure, I'm more aware of like being consistent and like principles and like group dynamic. That all of that is there, but it's also literally like I just feel like I'm a completely different person compared to 10 years ago. Socially. Not just, oh, I'm thinking about this, I'm dreaming about this, this is my style, this is my music. No, just like really, like it just feels like I'm a completely different person now. Almost. I have the same tendencies, I have the same roots, but it's like the way it all manifests and the way everything is prioritized is just, I can't recognize it. There's nothing left of how I was thinking, say, 20 years ago. There's just nothing left of it. A lot of it was a lot of mystical dreams, still based on bad things, on styles and input from society that made me curious. I had curiosity towards the darkness. Dark themed things, dark occult things. I had curiosity. Or a lot of it. It's gone. Like I've bumped into things like that, and I've really like, now I just like definitively know there is no more doubt about things that I did have absolutely doubt over when I started that out. Because I kind of started out like is Satan really evil? That's kind of how it all started. It's like how I rolled into the Gothic scene. It's like, is he really? I had philosophical discussions on the dance floor and shit. I was that weirdo guy. Like, yeah, dancing. And then it's like, oh yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Always asking. Always wanting to know about people's intellectual and or spiritual thoughts, just to like recognize like what kind of systems are taking place in their head. Like, what systems, what spiritual systems do I recognize? Like, what is that a copy of compared to how other people think of it? What did they copy? What roots did, with the OU, what roots did they take within the dynamic of thinking about that? So I guess like psychological discovery, like just analyzing, like comparing, like how do people think and feel about these things? Like what types of patterns are reoccurring? And like what does that say about those people? About how they chose it? Like if people choose a certain way, what does that tell you about how they are going to then choose other things? And I was obsessed with that specific study. It's like, how can you be able to predict things about people by knowing details about how they are now? And that's just what I was doing a lot. And also, like, while doing that, like, tapping into people that were basically delving into evil. Like, I was fascinated by people that were seduced by the dark side. And that were, like, trying to justify it. Like, I was hanging around a lot of people that were trying to justify evil. And I was fascinated by how that worked. I didn't challenge them, you see? I would let them just like make their excuses, almost be like, yeah, I'm secretly Palpatine here. I'm just letting you talk, right? Like, oh yes, tell me how you think it's not really, like, oh, I don't really believe in evil. And like, yeah, tell me more about that. I want to know how that works. I want to know how that paradigm bounces around in you, and does it actually keep you satisfied, or do you have to like scramble to keep yourself together at times? Or when poked with a question. But I would never like go into the offense and just say, you're wrong, you shouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. because I was just researching. I was researching corruption, evil, and how it works its way into people and what they do with it in the face of others. Because how people regard their situation and communicate it to others, I found out that actually, it's not even holding something inside of you, doesn't really even change that much. But when you then communicate it and put that thing in a certain light as you communicate, like you justify it or you glorify it, that's a thing that really tends to change you around. Like how you talk about the thing, not having the thing, but how you talk about it. That's actually a thing that turns out to really change a person. Has anybody taken note of that? Because I have. How a person talks about things that they're dealing with tends to change them more than just dealing with it. I'd like to be able to cross-reference that, but I don't think anybody else has really done that. That seriously. Anyway. But yeah, I was just researching, just trying to figure out, felt doomed. Dude, 20 years ago I thought like I'm gonna die very quickly. That's what I felt. Because it was all so overwhelming. The amount of evil that I came across and the lack of good in the face of it all really made me think like we're all going to end very soon. And it's not even like, oh, we're gonna get nuked or something. No, it was like, dude, everything is so bad, really. 20 years ago, I had foreknowledge of shit, okay? I already knew there was a new world order. I started to find out Alex Jones and all that, right? I knew, like, this is so bad, and with my insights on the occult and all that, it's like, the world's gonna end. Like, very quickly. I even had visions about that. And now, it's really weird thinking back about how I looked at the world back then, 20 years ago. And that I used the world is gonna end as an idea, as a crutch, to basically give up. I did. Because trying to actually develop and integrate my roots, like for my own self-preservation at that time, 20 years ago, was like enormously discouraging for me. Because I felt like everybody's just gonna try to put the clamps on me and make me not able to be me anymore. That's like, I was obsessed with that. It just felt like everybody just wants me to not be me anymore. That hasn't really changed too much. Except that now, 20 years later, I'm just much like, you can't change me anymore. Like, it can't be taken from me anymore. Like, you can't take who I am away from me anymore. Back then you could. I could have still been, I was like, with all the knowledge, I was like potentially completely reprogrammable 20 years ago. If I'd bumped into some cult that was actually competent and it had intelligent people and weren't just basic numpties trying to be like gods or whatever, then I might have actually rolled into that. I was looking for it. I was looking for a cult. And not to be, oh, I'm one of them, no. I was just looking for a cult. I was looking for witches' circles. I was looking for actual magic research, including dark shit. I wanted to just know how things work, what is real, what happens to the spirit. Like, is any of it real? Or is it all just psychological. But now it's like I just know how it works now. I don't have that curiosity. I don't have like, oh, let's look out weird people and potential cults and how they are and one of them. I'm like not interested at all anymore. I've seen what that is. There is no group that's secret that isn't either a cult or just straight out evil. It doesn't exist. The only groups that are not straight out evil or cults are open and honest and get trolled to all hell. And that's the only way it is. And I wish it wasn't. I wish you could just be good, do good things, and not be swarmed by just repulsive demonic people all the time. But that's not gonna happen. It didn't happen 100 years ago, and it's not gonna happen today. Yeah? Rudolf Steiner, 100 years ago, got like really fucking fed up from all these academic asses, complete materialistic, snobbish, lobbyist assholes that were literally just gamma trolling and writing for newspapers and all this shit, like, oh, it's all so ridiculous, like the worst. Like that was the gammas from then. Now they're like lobbyist trolls and newspoint narrative repeaters. That's what they are now. Back then it was like weirdo lobbyist news writers and snobs and just terrible whiny complainy people that would just talk shit to everything that felt out of the line of the program of like modernity. Like, oh, modern medicine is the only way. Like that sort of people. They were really predominant like 100 years ago because the medical system had pretty much just been created. The allopathic Rockefeller medical system. And they were the lobbyists back then. There was no internet, there was newspapers and telegraph and maybe radio. But not really yet too much. So they were doing it through newspaper and letters and just nagging people, complaining to others about individuals that didn't go with the thing. And Rudolf Steiner is like continually complaining in his books about these fucking idiot academics that literally don't understand a freaking word they're talking about. Just a bunch of robots. Aromatic controlled robots. And back then. So whenever I think like, why can't we just have a group where you can just be yourself and be truthful and just open and like kids and like, oh, just discovery. Why do you always have these fucking trolls trying to ruin everything? And then I realized, yeah, Rudolf Steiner had exactly the same problem. You can't do that in this world. You will, if you are pure, if you really do something real, you will get disgusting demonic troll creatures come after you through people. It happens every time. Arguably, that's the same thing that happened to Jesus Christ. Yeah, he was just like crushing it, rolling out brilliant sites to really fix it, like invent diplomacy. Like he basically invented it. Okay? And what happened? Oh no, it's not good enough. Oh no, he didn't say the thing that I wanted to hear. Let me write a hate comment. Right? It had the same thing. It's everywhere, right? If you shine bright, now I'm talking metaphysically or esoterically, if you shine bright enough, the demons will get in your face to try to dim the light because it burns them. Or you could say haters gonna hate. Sure, Roach, you could say that. Rosicrucians aren't bad? Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of them that are weird theosophists, though. So I would classify Rosicrucians as neutral, which is much better than most occult groups, by the way. Right? But the problem is that they're not really good. And no occult group really is good. None of them. Neutral is like the best thing you can have there. And with neutral, you'll have good people among them. But not exclusively good. And that's just the way it is. It would be so cool if there was just a pure good occult group, but the problem is this, like, that's just impossible. It doesn't work like that. It's like it wouldn't be an occult group then. If there's nothing that requires silence and shadows to protect, then why would you be a cult? Why would you keep it a secret? It would just be open. It's like the Amish or something, right? It's like, no, they don't keep secrets. They're very open about everything and how they do it, right? So that's not an occult group. They just are good, trying to do good. They're honest, they're open. And so you're not an occult group. All right, but yeah, Rosicrucians, it's like Rosicrucians in a way. I don't want to downplay it too much, but there are some like financial scam stuff that is sort of involved, not too enormous, but it's sort of turned into like a witches club for the rich. It's like you're a witchy, you're into like weirdo stuff, occult stuff, and secret codes and all that, and Kabbalah or whatever, that sort of thing. Then, well, the Rosicrucians is like, yeah, we have some of that, but it'll cost, right? They have a fee. So in that sense, it's almost a bit like Scientology, right? It costs. Now, Scientology is much more cultish in that sense, but Rosicrucians are kind of have become a bit like that. Where it's just like these organizations, they have special knowledge, and then you have to pay for that to gain that, and then you can't share it. You have to keep that. That's kind of what I heard about it. And I've known a Rosicrucian. If my income would have been more stable and good, and I managed to actually like stay out of poverty, if I managed to really succeed at it, I would have probably been now like digging more into Rosicrucians. I would have like gone with that trail, followed some people around that were Rosicrucians, and just like, hey, what are you up to? Is there anything that I can do? Right? Anyway. But that's all lots of curiosity, lots of stuff like digging, but socially not very competent. And lots of insecurity that was just like radiating off me. I'm not insecure anymore. Like out there, like I am not insecure anymore. When I walk out, like, and I walk in these freaking pants, dude, and my jacket that just full of holes and everything. But there is absolutely no insecurity from my side. Like, oh, my hair is not perfect. Like, I don't care anymore. I really don't. I'm like, there's no insecurities coming off me because I genuinely am not insecure anymore. And like, I look straight into people's eyes continually to prove that. Because you can't feign that. If you're insecure, you can't look in people's eyes. You can't do it. I can, because I'm not insecure anymore. Yeah. A lot of people, they try to look at your eyes, but then when you try to look back, I'm like, nope, I'll look straight in your eyes, you'll look straight back, and then I'll literally like keep staring until you have to bolt. Yeah? I win staring contest with random strangers. Because I can literally like lock it. I can just look at somebody just dead straight for like a minute without flinching. Or literally without moving at all. But I mean, yeah, not that I make that a hobby or something. It's just that I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. Or 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago I was still a lot insecure. I had more information, but I hadn't really developed my social side as much. That's really the thing that I've developed mostly in the last 10 years. Because it's like, yeah, I'm on my own. I'm now in a position where I don't have superfluous or extra money from an inheritance anymore. I have to now do something. I have to like grow into with skills. And I chose this, like, well, actually develop social skills. Just keep on yapping and yapping until you get really good at it. Learn to deal with people, even people that you don't really like. So that you at least know how to size them up and place them and know how to properly deal with them in more dynamic situations. And I have. That's exactly what I've been doing. And I'm getting a lot better at it. And like that's proving itself when I go out and have a conversation with a random person. Like that really stands out to me now. Because when I was younger, like especially 20 years ago, but even 10 years ago, but especially 20 years, I would like always like just walk until somebody started a random conversation. Or I'd start a random conversation. Just what was on my mind, I would just ask. Somebody that I didn't know, that was just there. And then we'd be like on an equal level. Now the funny thing is that every time that happens, I don't start a conversation anymore usually. And I only do it when I'm kind of agitated. Like, I'm agitated because of that. And then I complain about it a bit. And people are okay with that. Like, they don't like walk away or anything. 20 years ago, they would walk away if I'd complain. Now they don't. And I just noticed that when I interact, it's almost like I have this weird unspoken authority now, to a degree. I can't explain it, because it's not something that's ever said. It's just that, I don't know, internally I've leveled up or something, and other people, they feel it. They feel that I'm like a higher level wizard now. I could just feel it. It's not something they say. It's just how they compose themselves. Like anybody out there. And I've just, my radiance, what I am on the inside and radiate out during communication has changed. It has like blatantly leveled up compared to 10 years ago. Blatantly. Even though I don't really go out and talk with people all the time. I do it here. This is where I build skill. This is where I'm communicating over the internet with people. And this is where it's been growing. But I'm just noticing that out there, people's composure toward me has just changed. Because I've changed. I'm stronger now on the inside. I just radiate more confidence and seriousness. And still with dynamic, not closed off, not like I don't radiate as defensiveness. Like I'm not like, don't talk to me, or I can argue my way out of an accusation instantaneously, right? That's a lot of people have that defensiveness over them. I don't. Somebody accuses me, I'm just gonna like, what? Really? You're accusing me of that? I'm not even gonna be defensive most of the time. It's like, I'm just surprised that somebody would openly do that to me. 20 years ago, if somebody would have done that, my day would have been like, I'd be like, yeah, enemy. Now I'm like, wow, that person's just crazy. He's negative, and he's like, doesn't realize that it's not wise to make me angry, but he doesn't care. But I'm not defensive anymore. I just am like surprised when people do that now. In the real face-to-face world, not on the internet. I mean, here it happens all the time. Only the ones who can handle it will keep driving towards more of it. Maybe, Bombacloud Gatorfish. The problem is with real occulted truth is that the more you learn of it, the more you become detached from the general dream that people do believe in collectively. So you become incompatible. Do you understand? Like the more you learn and you really integrate that knowledge, well, while you learn how it is, that how it isn't will literally disintegrate in front of you. But then, when you communicate with people that don't know that, it's still disintegrated in front of you, and now you can't connect anymore because you're like, you got it wrong, but I can't confront you with that because I know you can't handle that. And so you end up with that situation all the time. It actually creates a rift, you see. Knowing occulted truths that people can't handle creates a rift between you and the people that can't handle it. The knowing of it creates the rift. Because now you can't just easily go with what everybody popularly believes. Because you know what it isn't now. You know what it is. People made fun of me on YouTube. I would instantaneously block them in my chat. Okay, Danny Torrance. It all depends on like how they're making fun of me in my chat. I mean, if it's just a bunch of whiny gammas, like I have to block in my comments all the time, yeah, I mean, I am gonna definitely block that. I don't block that because I'm insecure. It's just I don't want to expose anyone to that disgusting frequency. Because their days will just be cranky because they had to see a disgusting whining gamma comment. It's not because I'm afraid of the criticism. I don't give a shit, dude. They're all projecting anyway. All of them. It's so simple. Like, why do gammas make gamma comments? Because they feel shit about these things. They don't want to recognize these things or do anything about them, or they don't know how, They're afraid to do anything about it. So then, to get it off their chest, they project their insecurities and their shortcomings onto a target. And then burn it like an effigy. Like a straw man sacrifice, an effigy, a sacrifice, yeah? Take a target that reminds you of your shortcomings. You project your shortcomings on said target, and then you crush them, you burn them, you persecute them. So that you basically get your sin out and attack your sin without blaming yourself for having it. And that's what trolls do. That's what gammas do. Because they can't handle the responsibility of their own shortcomings. Right? Can't take the truth. Well, maybe can't take the responsibility, is it, mostly? That's the thing they really can't handle. The responsibility of it. What's it there? What am I seeing here? What? What am I seeing? Okay. I didn't know if you know, guys, but on the inside of these caps, there's an HL28, just so you know. I have absolutely no idea why that's on there. HL28. It's on the inside of these caps. Weird. Alright, Steamy Traveler, talk to you later. Hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a bit silent the first part, but then I drank the Gusto energy drink and now I can't stop rambling. The next time I'll just start drinking with that. Right, but anyway, I don't even know. Like, who are you talking about? Danny Torrance. Who exactly are you Torrance about? Who are you talking about? Jesus couldn't teach the esoteric truth to the masses, he had to teach them parables. Yeah, that's right. Because esoteric thinking requires you to be able to compartmentalize the way of thinking. And most people can't do that. Most people can basically only think in one way. Or at least, well, now it's probably much more dynamic than that. But back then, like, nobody did that. You were like a freak. What? What the hell are you talking about, Cleary? What? CS high lock 28mm cap. Oh, okay. Right from the the bottle. Okay. Cool, I guess. HL28. Yeah, that's what it said. It's just that I didn't see that was in there. I just thought it was a blank cap, and it was like on the rubber, by the way. Anyway. Yeah, I hope you guys are all enjoying the show. If you do, then yeah, let me know through the PayPal. Any donations would be great. So that I can have, like, I don't know, proper dinner for tomorrow or something. Because I've been going like with French fries and such for a while now. And even though I got new frying oil, which makes it a lot more durable, I'm actually like, especially with this temperature decrease, I'm really in need of like a real serious elaborate meal. Like, I actually just like want to make spaghetti sauce, and yeah, that's not super cheap, but when I make it, I got food for like half a week. So yeah, hopefully some of you can help me out a bit. That would be great if I could get like, I don't know, 20 to 30 bucks or something. Are you abstaining from smoking? No, I don't really need to anymore, Aries 106. But yeah, I am saving a lot of costs on cannabis right now, because Cannabear actually sent me some. So that's like, he basically saved me like potentially hundreds and hundreds of euros for the coming period. It's pretty good stuff too. Yeah, sweet indeed. I just, sometimes I'll like spend a little money on hashies, because yeah, it's all cannabis. Are you allowed to grow my own cannabis? Yeah, technically yes, but I don't really have room for it, and especially not to dry it. So, get myself some spaghetti. Yes. Oh, did you send me some? That's awesome. Check. I'm looking for... Wait, with €1.30... I don't know if I can get spaghetti for €1.37, but thank you. Thank you, Fiber Oats. It's a start. Right. But yeah, I am really, because yeah, I got the basil plant. Like, if I wait much longer, then it's gonna be my third basil plant that's gonna like grow old and all that. No, dude. What? What do you mean, no, dude? One spaghetti? Yeah, no, actually, the literal package of spaghetti is like 3 or 4 euros, so that's not gonna work. Made a mistake. Oh! You had the numbers incorrect. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that should definitely work. Yeah, with 20 bucks total. Thank you. Thank you, Fibroads. That will definitely work. Talking about which, how is the business going with the paintings and all that? I'm eating a good meal right now. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear that. Yeah. Would be yeah. Monday I'm gonna get like stuff for spaghetti and all that. What is that? Whoa. Is that soup? What does that mean? What is that symbol over there? Oh, that is spaghetti. I can barely see it that small. I have to like magnify to actually see that it is spaghetti. It looks more like a cup of soup or something. Tomato soup. Ah, you're still at it? Awesome. Yeah, if you got some new awesome painting done or whatever, you can always tell me and I'll just show it. Yeah, send it over the email, a link or a picture, and I'll just share it. You know, dude, I'll literally advertise for you. If you got it like for sale somewhere, I'll literally advertise for you. I've done this before, so I like your work. And you support me, so hey, it's the least I can do. Send some spaghetti funds your way? Oh, okay. I guess I could get some Parmesan cheese. Oh! Okay. Fussman. Huh. Thank you very much, Bumbleclad Gatofish. Wow, that's gonna be very luxurious spaghetti. Awesome. Yeah, I can have cheese with that. Oh, I'm really looking forward to the spaghetti actually right now. It's gonna have to wait till tomorrow, but I mean, like, I haven't eaten it like the entire summer, and I really sort of was planning to, and then didn't end up doing it. That's why I got now 3 basil plants. Like, I'll show you. Hold on. Like, this, it was the first basil plant that I had bought in anticipation of making spaghetti sauce. It's safe to say it's not really good for that anymore. This is the second basil plant that I bought in anticipation for making spaghetti sauce. It's still blooming, by the way, even with all the storm and everything. Can you see that? It's not very usable anymore. This is the third basil plant that is still usable, but don't know for how much longer. And yeah, that's gonna be the one that I'm gonna make spaghetti with Monday, I think. Right, still usable. Right, I'm gonna take another 2-minute break. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Was to get 10 paintings I'm confident in, then maybe I'll bug you about a possible promotion. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, whenever you want, man. Dude, that first time, remember when you just had like 3 paintings? I mean, that really, you sold one after that, right? So, I'll leave it up to you. Right, anyway, yeah, it's been great. Great show today. I'm really looking forward to some good spaghetti. By the way, I've also just noticed that I like basil plants. I think they're like, they look great. Like even when they're blooming and when it's done, it just looks great. I like it. I'm not like, it's like, oh, all brown. The flowers are done. You should cut them off. I'm like, no, I like the way it looks. It's cute. It has something. And it's kind of fun, like the way that I even store it, like in between the railings. When you come walking underneath, you look up and it just looks like it's a piece of nature. I like the way it looks. Even now that it's not blooming anymore, it's just like, oh, there's a piece of nature there. because I always had my plants like in the kitchen, where they mostly tended to attract lice. Well, they're not attracting any lice out there, I can tell you that. And also there's like bees all over the place. Like the bees are loving them. Bees really like the flowers of the basil. Every time they have flowers, and they've been flowering, well, they're still flowering right now. Even the old one is still flowering. And bees come here all the time after those flowers. So it's just like I have a little mini garden on my balcony. And it turns out to be much better than I thought it would be, because the first few years people have been suggesting just do it on the balcony, and I was just like, nah, it'll just blow away. And now I'm like, yeah, why didn't I do it right away? Probably because I wasn't ready for it yet. But it turns out to be actually great. It makes things better. So I'm gonna keep that up, doing that. And I'm also especially curious about my rosemary plant, how well it's gonna fare the winter. I can't believe that thing is actually still blooming right now in October, guys. It's October. And the rosemary bush is still blooming. See? Like, what? Can somebody explain to me how a rosemary bush is blooming in October in the Netherlands? Outside, not within a greenhouse. It's kind of weird. But cute. And it seems to be just doing great. The stem is getting stronger. It's like getting really settled. There's less. Remember, like midsummer, there were a lot of leaves that were like getting brown and like dying. That's not happening anymore. All the new leaves seem like much greener and healthier. So it's actually doing much better. And take a look at the parsley. Even the parsley, even though they're not the long branches aren't exactly there anymore. They're all dead now. But this thing is still usable. And it's like it's all short, but it's doing great. I thought that the whole thing was gonna die, but it's doing great. Right? It's funny though that it happens every time. That it starts out like with these long branches, and then they sort of like just die out, and then the new branches still come, but they're all very short. And this keeps happening with all the parsley plants that I've gotten. So I think that when they're originally grown, they're like really put into like this optimal condition where they just like have the perfect amount of nutrients and have a lot of light and a lot of heat and a lot of water, and they just like they just make them like explode. Because out here in nature, that just doesn't happen. It never happens like that. It refuses to grow like that. It only seems to be doing that at the start. So maybe it is like this a special type of nutrients that they give it to make it grow like that, and then eventually that depletes, and then it just only turns into like short branches with the parsley. Is anybody still here? Hello? Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna be rounding out. I'm almost like I'm at 2 hours and 50 minutes anyway. So I was gonna round out soon. Everybody in the chat's also gone all of a sudden. Did everybody's favorite show just start on some other channel or something? Right, you're still around. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, my plants are doing just fine. I'm really happy that my rosemary plant is doing great. I had a rosemary plant like 2 decades ago when I lived in Gouda on my own, and that one died on me, and I'm still like disappointed at that. This one seems to be doing great, and I really hope that at some point I can take this plant with me and someday just put it into the ground and have it turn into a real tree. Like a big rosemary bush. That would be great.
Hello,
oh. What the hell? Hello, the BDQ jet. How did you come across this channel? Maybe you're not used to actually being part of the chat where the show host will directly address you in the chat. But that's what happens here, the BDQ jet. Okay, well, guess that's that. Listening for years? Oh, okay. Cool. Ever spoke up before? I don't recognize you. there anything particular about me you're interested in? I always like feedback. Like my husband is a subscriber. Oh, wait, what? By the way, who is that kid that's on your channel? Is that you? Or is that your kid? I love my talks, my passion. Oh, okay. Cool, I guess. My kids, they make shorts. Alright, cool, I thought so. Are you English? The kid looks very British. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, yeah, thanks for saying hello. Glad you like my shows. Sorry that it gets a bit boring sometimes. I try not to be. It's just that at the beginning, usually I need some time to like get into it. And sometimes I need a Gusto energy drink to do that. You're in the US. Oh, okay. I don't know. I typically associate kids that look like that kid of yours. I just kind of generally associate that with like the British kid look. Because I've met a lot of kids from Britain that looked exactly kind of like that. So that's why I thought. But I guess you're in the United States. Cool. So I guess your family is kind of an early bird family that gets up early. Otherwise, I don't know how you would have managed to watch me for years. Unless you watch my shows afterward. Right. Anyway, thanks for saying hello. But I was gonna kind of round out the show, so unless somebody had something they really wanted to share or wanted me to address, then speak up now. Or hold your silence for at least another 21 hours. Or 20 hours to be more precise. Nope. Alright, anyway, thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. I thought it was yeah, great. It's a bit slow start, but I think that it got plenty interesting. At least the second half, right? Anyway, hope you all liked it. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That'll be much appreciated, and you can always use the support. And thank you guys for the support today through the PayPal. I will be making spaghetti this coming week. Really looking forward to that. Thanks to you guys. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1751 on a Monday, so it's going to be back to 1 p.m. Amsterdam time. Hope to see you then. And yeah, also see you around in the comment sections and chats of premieres and FED. Right? And until the next video, keep it flat.